Hey everybody. I don't know who's in channel right now, but if you are, pop something in the text. Let me know you're here. My plan for tonight is to do a little bit of a build lab, if you want to call it that. Build testing, working on builds incorporating some of the gear from season 11 for the Golden Bullet that's going to start tomorrow. Golden Bullet is my absolute favorite of all of the global events. It's just so much fun to play. It's fun solo. It's fun in a group. It's fun. Period. One thing to bear in mind with with it as a global event is it's great once you get the Golden Bullet because of the rate of fire, the fact that your gun automatically reloads on kill, and I think it's also amplified damage, but I'm not 100% positive on that. Hey, how's it going, man? The disadvantage of Golden Bullet is until you get it, whoever has the Golden Bullet has those buffs, and they will apply against you. So you have to have a build that allows you to acquire the Golden Bullet and then take advantage of it. So I've got a couple of ideas that are a little bit different from some of the builds that I've used before. And what I'm hoping we can do together is craft a build that we can all mess around with and have a little bit of fun with. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see real quick. That one's got Technician. We're going to start with that one. I'm going to create a new loadout. And I'm actually going to base this around Kingbreaker for some fairly obvious reasons. Kingbreaker it's got a very high base weapon damage. It's got a decent fire rate, not huge, but its downside for me is, hey, thanks, man. I haven't gotten mine yet, so I haven't been repping it just yet. I will as soon as I get it. So hopefully, if we're streaming on tomorrow night or Thursday night, I might end up just doing Monday, Wednesday this week. I haven't worked out a schedule yet with the missus, so but as soon as I get mine, I've got a beanie and a hoodie coming, so we'll see how they look once I get them. But Kingbreaker, the issue I've always had with Kingbreaker is its inherent lack of accuracy. It's got really good stability. The way I've got this one set, the reason that the stability is so good on this is because I'm actually running the Omega Suppressor. If I put that back to a crit chance mod, which is how I often run it, you can see the difference in stability. So I'm going to put crit chance on here. I've got the linked laser pointer so that we can proc perfect flatline to increase the damage, and I've got a crit chance sight and the extended mag. So this is the weapon we're going to build around. We are going to use the Rock and Roll, which is the named ACS-12 shotgun, as our secondary. And for the pistol, the Orbit's in there, so we're just going to leave that well enough alone. I could drop in. I've got a Regulus. I've got the Liberty because we're not running an exotic. We can run anything in there that we want. So what I'm thinking is we're going to build around Umbra so that we get because I'm not running Gunner. I love running Gunner with most of my builds because of the armor on kill. So
sorry.
That was rude. So because we're not going to be using Gunner, we're going to use the Technician specialization. I'm going to run Umbra. I'm going to run the 4-piece, and then I'm going to get a little bit creative with some of the other pieces that we put in here. First and foremost, I am going to run Ninja Bike. And then we'll see what we have for Umbra on board. This guy's just being a dick. He's actually pinned me back here. Hey, Black. Like that's a first for me. I've never had that guy pin me in the corner like that. But so here's where we were going with that. One piece of Umbra. I'm gonna run armor on this piece. This one's crit chance. See where we are for stats. 53 and 67. Okay, so not a bad starting place. Yeah, Golden Bullet starts tomorrow morning. I think they bring the servers down at 3 o'clock in the morning our time. And so by the time we get up tomorrow morning, Golden Bullet should be or will be active. Which that's kind of what I'm putting this build together to do. So what we've got. We're sitting at 1.3 million armor. We do have the equivalent of 4 pieces of Umbra because we're running the Ninja Bike. It gives us 15% crit chance, 30% reload speed, and then from the shadows, which is into the light. From the shadows into the light. So you guys have all seen Umbra before. I'm not going to go into any detail on that, but this reload speed is going to be big. I don't remember what the reload speed was on this when we started, but I think it was 2.1 or 2.2 seconds. And now, there's two things before I get into that. This does buff our reload speed, but then I've added a piece of Hotshot to give us marksman rifle damage, which we're not going to use, but the 30% weapon handling, which is what I was after, to increase the accuracy, stability, etc. of the Kingbreaker. So you can see the difference. The accuracy is much better, and we're down to a 1.5 second reload time now on it. It was at 2.1 seconds when we started. So we're now down into the realm of SMGs. Much better stability, better accuracy, and it's a nice hard-hitting gun. The other thing to bear in mind is if we're taking advantage of the buff that we get while we remain in cover, and then when we exit cover, we get a rate of fire increase. We're going to up the rate of fire of the Kingbreaker, and Golden Bullet is going to up the rate of fire. So we've got some inherent survivability with its ability to heal us. It's 0.8 armor regen when consumed for each stack that we get out of cover. So 10 stacks is 80% or 8% of our armor, I think. 50 stacks, disregard. So 40% of our armor comes back. We are using the chest piece, which is the From the Shadows. So the From the Shadows. So it increases our crit damage from 50 to 100. So math is not my strong suit, but we're at 53% crit chance. We're getting... I got to go back and have a look at it again. We're getting 100 stacks if we fully stack ourselves up. %1 crit chance, so 100% crit chance. So we're going to be at 100 and... I'm rambling at this point. 167.6% crit damage, and I haven't put any mods yet in here on purpose. Just to see kind of where we're at. We're at 53% crit chance. And we're going to have really good crit damage. We're at 85% headshot damage, so this should hit pretty hard. The nice thing about using Picaros is we've actually got an extra skill tier, plus the skill tier we get from Technician, plus the skill tier we get from the Ninja Bike. The reason for that is it brings the shield up to a... where are we now here? It's a tier 6 shield, which is going to be helpful for because we want to play this out of cover as much as we possibly can. I don't know. I'm putting this together sort of off the top of my head as we go here. The only mod that's in here, I believe there was a crit damage mod in here. My intention actually is to run a better crit damage mod in here and then protection from elites. So we're going to actually start with all protection from elites mods and see how it plays. And again, when you play this with Golden Bullet active, you're going to do your performance will be much higher than what you're about to see with this. Okay. So for our stats that we're starting with, the weapon is currently hitting at 137.5k per bullet. We're at 53% crit chance. We're at 57% crit damage. If we're fully stacked coming out of cover, that's going to be 150% crit hit damage, which is a pretty decent number. 85% headshot damage. We get 21% health damage. Not listed on here is the 10% damage to targets out of cover that comes from the gun itself. We are down to a 1.5 second reload speed. From the armor perspective, we're at 1.29 million. There's no armor on kill. We do have armor regen from Umbra. And we've got a tier 6 shield, which is going to help us a lot. We get 36% protection from elites. And then the rest of it is watch level. The shield is a tier 6 shield, so it's got 4.7 million health, which is, it's pretty decent for the small shield. And I'm also running the Striker drone, which should be a tier 3. It is. So it's going to do okay damage, have decent survivability. So again, this is pretty much my standard. There's a lot of other options you could run here. We could run the Artificer Hive to buff the shield. I don't think that's going to be required. We could run the Decoy, which would certainly help keep aggro off of us. We could swap that out for the turret because it does more damage, has better health, and I think better longevity. So that might be an option, depending on what content we're doing. There's a whole lot of options for your second skill, but the shield is where we're going to start with this. So I'm going to save this. We'll see how it plays. The world currently is in heroic, and I just realized that, and this does this to me every single time I launch the game. For whatever reason, it launches in windowed mode. So it's clipping the top and bottom off of what you guys are seeing. And that should be a little bit better. I keep forgetting to reset that, so bad meat. I got to get better at doing that before we get started. So is everybody else looking forward to running Golden Bullet this week? It's, like I said at the start of this, it is my absolute favorite of the global events. Hollywood's, it's not bad. I do enjoy that one, but this one, hands down, is my favorite. The unfortunate part is I'm going to lose my weekend of gaming doing house work back at the old house, so is what it is. So let's go give this a whack. Hey Valk, how's it going, man? I don't know if you were on Discord earlier. Cypher got his hat, loves the merch so far. He said it was very, very good quality. It fit. It's so win all around. My stuff should be here this week, and I think you said yours will be here later this week as well. So, Cypher, dude, you're gonna love Golden Bullet. It's once you hit it, playing it solo is my favorite simply because you can be greedy. But in a group, it's awesome. It's so much fun. One thing I do want to run this week at some point in a group is rerun the Auntie League speed runs with Golden Bullet active, because it's just going to be nuts. It's going to be absolutely nuts. So I am going to run Lincoln Memorial because it's my favorite, and then we'll run a control point, see how this holds together, see if we need to tweak it, if anybody has any suggestions or tweaks that they'd like to see made. I am going to go over the build just before we get started, for those of you that missed it at the start. I thought I saw somebody.
We need you to secure the memorial and remove the True Sons forces. They maintain
so that was with no strike, Umbra
to the
stats.
campus.
And as soon as we clear this room, I'll go over the building. Way better stability and accuracy with the Kingbreaker.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south.
Okay, so for those of you that weren't here off the start, basically this is a build I'm trying out to see how it's going to work for Golden Bullet for tomorrow. It's 3 pieces of Umbra with the Ninja Bike, so it's 4 pieces of Umbra. I'm running a single piece of Hotshot to get the extra 30% weapon handling, and then I'm running Picaros for the extra skill tier and skill haste to buff the shield, basically. And that's the build in a nutshell. The mods are all protection from elites. I'm running the Kingbreaker with this build because of Umbra, which gives a 30% reload speed bonus. Plus the From the Shadows into the Light, which I think you all know. It turns the Kingbreaker into pretty decent accuracy and stability, but check out the reload time. It's 1.5 seconds. So very quick reload. It's down into the SMG realm, so but way harder hitting. And so far, I'm digging the accuracy and stability. Stability is exactly where I want it. I might actually throw an accuracy mod on the muzzle. Maybe. Where we're sitting for stats, we're at 53% crit chance, we're at 57 crit damage, but again, if we let Umbra get fully stacked up, that adds, if I'm in for 10 seconds, it's an extra 100% crit damage, so we're at 157% crit damage exiting cover. So it hits pretty hard. Like I said, we are on Legendary. I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't played in a number of days, so... rebuild our Umbra stacks.
Anyone else see that?
But I think this is going to be an okay build for a Golden Bullet. I think the rate of fire coming out of cover is going to be insane. Yes, Coke definitely does eat rust. So if anybody thinks of any tweaks that they'd like to see me try out on this build, I am absolutely all ears.
Watch out! Drone!
I see you! I need some. There's no hiding from us. Setting up my first. I'm gonna need a new vest.
Taking fire from the drone.
I'm loving the reload speed we're getting off this.
Heading from here. Tango is out of cover.
Shit! Gotta turn down.
All clear. I repeat, compound is all clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check the interior while I get Henry's people moving
LMG,
the perimeter.
yes, we will give that a try next. I actually have another build in mind for an LMG. Thinking of running a Bullet King and ongoing directive with something very, very similar to what you see here. As a thought.
Finger on the trigger.
Damn it. The truce doesn't turn the memorial into a base. There's an area beneath you with increased security. Isaac can't access data on this location. Stay alert. I don't know what you're walking into.
Do you have an LMG in mind for something you'd like to see tried out with this build?
going to let the True Sons escape with those. You've got to find a way to close up that tunnel.
Yeah, fair point. They're not my favorite weapon either. I'll have a look once we finish this, and we can rerun the same mission again. Probably be the best way to test it out. Now, I am looting as we go, so this mission will be slightly slower, and I did take a little bit of time at the off the hop just to go over the build itself. But we'll get a pretty decent idea. As a feel perspective, as I'm playing with this, I'm enjoying it. It's got pretty decent survivability, I think. The main thing for me is remembering to build up those stacks when we start the engagement. It's interesting, the drone's actually doing better damage than I thought it would. It's taking care of some of these NPCs for me.
According to the schematics Isaac pulled upstairs, we can lock that tunnel door from their control center. That should keep them from being able to transport those mortars loaded with DC-62.
Anyone got spare arms? Back away. Waste them. I'm gonna kill.
Hey Nate, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. Ooh, with the blue screen. Okay, we'll have to give that one a try.
That should keep them from getting more of those mortars.
You think closing the tunnel is smart? Fuck you! You flopped yourself in with us. I'll make sure you rot down here.
Go on and head back up. The team from the campus is taking position inside the memorial.
So like I said, that felt easy.
If you hadn't stopped them, I
Um,
know they would have used those weapons on us. And we
you
would
know,
have
mind
ended
you,
up
I was
like
taking my
Castle.
time a little bit, but I think
can't
with
tell you
this,
how
with
relieved
Golden
I am to
Bullet,
have
it
you
will
on our
be,
side.
it'll wreck.
Thank you. Today, we dealt a great blow to the True Sun's infrastructure. We confiscated a
See what the
massive
stats
cache
ended
of
up.
chemical
I'm
weapons
curious what
and
the
eliminated
true crit
stronghold near the
chance
campus.
crit damage ended up
You should be
being.
proud. You saved a lot of lives today.
Not bad accuracy for the Kingbreaker. Real crit percent 61, so I needed to... I wasn't leaning into the Umbra enough, maxing out its into the light, from the shadows into the light. And I know that going in. I'm a little rusty playing this one. But not a bad starting place, I don't think. We'll go back and we'll try Nate's suggestion. See if I have all the pieces for it.
I've marked it on your map.
No, I'm not going back inside. That a-hole will be back and push me into a corner again. All right, we'll start from a clean slate. I'm just going to grab one that I know has a gunner on it, just so I don't have to go back inside. We'll start here. Probably still going to run the drone just to have the extra distractions. Running the Banshee Pulse. All right, so... Heartbreaker, mask, and knee pads. Do you run blue cores or red cores with those, just out of curiosity? Because I think I have both. I'm going to start with weapon damage. Mask. And knees. And then I'm assuming 3 pieces ongoing directive. What do we got? What do you run for a chest piece with that? I'm assuming it's the ongoing directive chest. We want a ninja bike. Yeah, it's going to be the 3 pieces. Let's see what I've got. I think I'm going to have to switch to blues because the ongoing directive pieces are all red. Okay. This takes us to 1.3, which was exactly where we were for the last build. And then you said Kingbreaker. We're going to make that our number 2. And we'll throw the blue screen in. I'll be honest, I've never run the blue screen. I picked this up a while ago. You can see it's not even close to being optimized at this point. Interesting. All right, where are we for stats? Running it as a secondary and Kingbreaker in the primary slot? Is that what you're saying? Like swap these two? Yeah, I'm running the blue screen in the primary slot. Oh, Kingbreaker. Okay. There we go. And then just to keep it honest, I'm going to run protection from elites in all these as well. All right. So with the Kingbreaker, we're at 49% crit chance, 57% crit damage. But we are getting the ongoing directive 4-piece, which is status effects. We get reload speed. And then we get the hollow point ammo. And that amplifies damage by 35%. Cool. Now we do have armor on kill from the gunner class. We're at 1.3 million even, 130,000 armor on kill. Let's see how Meat does without a shield. Hey, Garrick. So this is the Garrick. This is the second build we're running this evening. First one, you missed it. I'll show it to you real quick. It was. Hang on, let me save this one first. I'm running. Where is it? It's one of the settings changes that I make. In accessibility, I am running colorblind mode to the Tritanopia. So when I go to throw a grenade, or if someone throws a grenade at me, or there's a mortar firing at me, it puts a great big red hash marked circle around it, so it's easier to see. So this it affects the colors, but the Tritanopia affects the colors the least. But it does give you the benefit of being able to see where your aiming stuff is on the ground. I'll go down into the range and show you what a grenade mark looks like when you go to throw one. But this is also if someone throws a grenade at you or there's an incoming mortar. This is what the ground shows. So it's easier to see rather than a hazy red circle. So this is what you'll see on the ground. It gives you a pretty decent idea of where your grenade's going to land and what damage it's going to do. You can still see the red circle, but it just makes it a lot more apparent. Yeah, I started running it right around the time that I started doing the raids, because there's a lot of mortar rounds that land around you or grenades that land around you, and this just makes it brutally apparent. Also, if someone's got a hive on the ground, it's exactly the same. You can see it exactly. Yeah, for a 3-piece Umbra, one hot shot, exactly. With the Kingbreaker. So Umbra, hot shot, Picaros to give you the extra skill tier. So basically, it gives you a 6-tier shield and a 3-tier or a tier 3 striker drone. So it just added survivability for the shield and added damage from whatever your other skill is going to be. So the nice thing about this one is the Kingbreaker shot like or very close to, from a handling perspective, what I would expect out of a police M4. It's not exactly the same. It still feels different, and I don't know if that's down to sound and fire rate, but it handled much better. I was able to hit headshots. Other than when I consistently run my mouse into the side of my keyboard and run out of room to move it. If you see me aim, panning and it stops panning, it's because I've run into something and I'm an idiot when it comes to stuff like that. So I typically end up with my mouse quite close to my keyboard, which I know I shouldn't do. But anyway, this build is a suggestion of Nate. It is 2 pieces of Heartbreaker. So we get the assault rifle, LMG damage, and weapon handling. And then 3 pieces of ongoing directive with the chest piece. So we get the status effects, reload speed, and rules of engagement. So it's actually kind of similar to what we ran the last time. Weapons are better handling, and we get a much better reload speed. So just to show you what that looks like, Kingbreaker on the last build had a 1.5 second reload speed, and this time it's at 1.7. So it's close. It's not exactly the same. The accuracy and stability are the accuracy is better. The stability is not quite as high. So, and then for the blue screen, it's actually a 2.2 reload time, which is actually pretty decent for an LMG. Decent accuracy and stability. Actually, really good stability. And this thing needs to be optimized. Cool. You know what, Garrick? I've never, this is a first for me. I've never run the blue screen. So we'll see. And I'm not running my usual shield crutch. So we'll see how I do. I'm going to run the same mission just to see how we fare. Now, again, this is a build that I'm aiming these, and I realize, Nate, this is your favorite, but I'm aiming it towards a build that we can put together for Golden Bullet event that's starting tomorrow. Because this thing with the rounds, the disrupt, the pulse, and the what was the other thing it gives? Well, this gives the hollow point, which is going to be very cool. And then with this one, we get the disruptor rounds. So pulse, disrupt, and disorient if we build enough stacks. When we deploy a non-shield skill, remove all stacks. So the pulse is going to be important to this. And same with the... I might have to rethink this. I need to reset this. I might have to rethink the drone, because we're going to want a reusable skill, aren't we?
Take them out! They're flanking me!
We need you to secure the memorial and remove the True Sons' forces. They maintain this outpost. The True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
Pressing fucking... I'll mobilize. Facing the True Sons.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.
Yeah, I'm gonna run the Restorer Hive or the Booster Hive, one or the other. The Booster Hive might be a cool option, because we can drop it and then pick it back up. But it increases weapon handling. I want to try.
Who's there? Bring it here. Through you, agent! Push them back! Right. Got them all. Got me! I'll feed them.
I gotta reverse those. just waiting for the pulse to finish its cooldown. I think it's 12 is what I'm waiting for. I'm mis-triggering the two of them, so I'm going to try and reverse the two keybinds. See? Making my own point.
I'm gonna check it out. There you are.
Friendly down!
Serious trauma detected.
Can't see a damn thing.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
No line of sight.
visual on additional hostiles in the Memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.
All right.
Already signed it. Take these.
not. No, fuck off the wall.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Jesus Christ.
Reloading.
Got one down. Treat them.
That's only two.
All clear. I repeat, the compound is all clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check the interior while I get Henry's people to maintain the perimeter.
Well, that went smoother. You guys are starting to see some of the limitations of my playstyle, though. I tend not to play well without a shield. But yes, unlimited hollow points certainly does help. Oh yeah, the the global event. Which one was it? Was it Hollywood that you really had to go for the weak points? And I am paying attention to what you guys are saying in chat. I'm trying to go for the weak points, but I.
Let's check it out. I'm ready.
Serious trauma detected. Agent killed.
This build does not work well with my particular playstyle, shall we say. It's a good build, but we're up against some of the limitations of me and my playstyle. This is not a good start. Wow, nice shotgun shot.
Vital signs critical.
Want this?
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the Memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.
Yeah, it is. It's fairly low damage. I'm just wondering if I should be switching over to the Kingbreaker at any point, just to up. I'm going to try switching over to the Kingbreaker after I get some disrupt.
Take him down.
You wanna see what I can do?
That's not what I meant to grab, but that'll work.
Okay, gotta move. Gonna have to do this without him.
I keep thinking the blue screen is my primary. Oh dear. Yeah, there's no kill like overkill, right?
Screw you.
All clear. I repeat, the compound is all clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check the interior while I get Henry's people to maintain the perimeter.
Pistol to a minigun fight. Yeah. Ah. I'm liking the reload time that this is giving. Grenades comparatively.
Damn it. The Truces have turned the memorial into a base. There's an area beneath
That went
you with
better.
increased security. Isaac can't access data on this location. Stay alert. Don't know what you're walking into.
Like you said, it takes some getting used to. I mean, it's a much different play style than I'm used to, or sorry, shouldn't say used to. It's a different play style than I've been playing lately. I tend to play straight up in people's faces and aggressively, which doesn't work in this particular case.
Hear that? Fuck this noise. I'm not dying to help with double count.
DC-62 detected.
Heads up. Isaac just ID'd those shells as chemical weapons. Can't afford to let the True Sons escape with those. You've got to find a way to close up that tunnel.
You have received an invite to another agent's group.
Hey. I'm not gonna try and pronounce your name. I'm thinking it's Jalma, but I'm not positive. And hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. And that you're, I think, the first from Brazil that we've gotten. So welcome. That's awesome.
According to the schematics Isaac pulled upstairs, we can lock that tunnel door from their control center. That should keep them from being able to transport those mortars loaded with PC-62.
But the fire rate on this with Golden Bullet, I think, is going to be stupid, which would be really cool.
I'll set up my turret. Firing on hostile. Deploying boom!
Cool. That's awesome, dude. Welcome. And thanks for chatting in this time. I don't think I saw a comment from you the
That
last
should
time,
keep them
so
from getting more of those mortars.
welcome.
You think closing the tunnel was smart? Fuck you! You slot yourself in with us. I'll make sure you rot down here.
Kill that guy for the third time. Here's his backpack, finally.
Good work. Go on and head back up. The team from the campus has taken position inside the memorial.
Right, that wasn't too bad. I think this is going to be a winner with Golden Bullet. With that additional fire rate, that's going to be awesome.
If you hadn't stopped them, I know they would have used those weapons on us, and we would have ended up like Castle. I can't tell you how relieved I am to have you on our side. Thank you. Today, we dealt a great blow to the True Sons infrastructure. We confiscated a massive cache of chemical weapons and eliminated their stronghold.
I'm going to go see what I've got in my stash for something with Frenzy.
A lot of lives today.
But that was pretty cool. Decent accuracy considering. I'm expect better crit percentage and chance than I had thought. Don't mind the deaths. I think, like you guys said, the trick, if you want to call it that, or the aim of the exercise, so to speak, should be to go for the weak points. Shotgun and run Scorpio, that would be cool too. I'm not certain I've actually got any LMGs in here, to be honest, because I'm not a massive... I think I've deleted every single one I've gotten this season. So the only other one that I have would be Bullet King. And Pesty. Nope. So let's see if we actually got anything. All right, let's clean up. Dare at the campus, okay? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Hi there, Agent.
Check out what I've got.
Said we could make a deal.
Hostile control point detected.
Never noticed that there before. Right on. Perfect flat line for the dare. It's not frenzy, but just see what the other vendors have for sale. Might try crafting something and throwing frenzy on it if there's nothing else available.
Ready to make a deal? Great doing business with you.
New agent.
Roger that.
Get your eyes on my select.
Ooh, that's an interesting point, man.
Thanks for the business, agent.
Ready. Before I craft it, I know that there is the Sleipnir. Do you remember? Is that one the one with Frenzy? Yeah, it's Perfect Frenzy. That's what I thought. Well then. That is a god-awful roll. Better. going to spend all night crafting. So let's see with the two that we've got here. That one's at 11. Probably going to throw damage to armor on this just so that it's all around. Actually, let's see if I can optimize this. Nope. What do we need? All right, bear with me for 1 second. I'm just going to top up my resources with my mule or my the character I just ran through Warlords.
Safe area detected.
Save the last 250. Basically, all I did is I topped everything up to slightly over 5 grand, except for the printer filament. If you want a cheat code, and I'll show you this real quick, just to prove a point. With printer filament, if I spend 50 points, I'm going to get 500 printer filament. Now, if I do the same thing, but spend it as cash and take out $500,000...
Nice to see
You buy the cheapest mod that they have, so any of them, they're all the same price. And I think
Thanks for
I'm
the
just going to spend
purchase.
the 500,000 credits.
Enjoy your purchase.
This is the most efficient way to get printer filament, and if you're using printer filament
Thanks for your
to
business.
gain expertise, this is your most efficient way to use it. It's a
Thank you
pain
for
in the
your
ass, though,
business,
and what you're missing is me doing this.
A pleasure doing business with you.
So it's a pain in the
Thank you to a
ass.
business
Or
agent.
I don't know how old any of you are, but one of the games that I played in my youth was Asteroids, and you do this.
Enjoy your purchase.
But it's it's basically it's a pain in the ass.
A pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah, it gives you 20% more. Again, when I max this out the first time, I should max out the section with 100 before I run out of cash, and that'll give us 600.
Thanks for the purchase. Thanks for buying.
I'll be honest, I've thought about, with this gamepad, I can actually program in macros, and I've thought about a macro where I hold down the spacebar that it actually it basically spams it.
Thanks for buying.
Now you can see there's no more cash leaving. It's
Thanks for your
because I'm
business.
full of
Thank
that
you,
particular
agent.
one.
I
So
appreciate the business.
where are we now? Here we come in here. We go here. Holding down shift, going to the end of it, and then deconstructing them all en masse. And you can see we just got 600 printer filaments. But wait, there's more,
Looking for something?
because we still have another 40 grand that we can spend. To spend that half,
Thanks for the
spend down
purchase.
to 50 grand, which is approximately what we had in here when we started.
Thanks
so
for your business.
we'll go to there.
Thanks for your business.
So again, select the first one, go to the end, select them all. And that should, so I get I get 666 to quote Iron Maiden, for 500,000 credits. So for the same 50 watch levels, it's what, 22.5% ish more, by doing it that way. So that's the most efficient way to do it. Anyway, we digress. I'm not gonna actually, you know what, I'm gonna leave those last few points in there just in case I need them. But that's what I use those characters for. Cypher, I believe, is still watching the stream. He and I run through New York pretty much every week, sometimes more than that. When I was working on Expertise, I was running probably 2 to 3 characters a week through Warlords, just for the materials, just for printer filament, and then wearing out this finger in my spacebar, getting
Safe
printer
area
filament.
entered.
I say unfortunately, but my expertise is max, so I can't actually show you how I would do that. But it was, I think, cleaners, outcasts. It's just time, brother. You know, that's really all it is. It's just time and dedication to playing the game. I mean, I've at times played this game ridiculously hard, which is why I've taken major gaps, or there's major gaps in my playing, because I took it too seriously and treated it as, or it became a grind. We might actually get this maxed. All right. So we've got a fully researched Sleipnir. Max LMG damage, max damage to targets out of cover, max damage to armor, and it's got perfect frenzy. For every 8 bullets in the magazine, capacity gain, plus 3% rate of fire, plus 3% weapon damage for 5 seconds when reloading from empty. So I got to let it run dry. Nice, Nate. What I found is that first 1,000 seem to take forever. And then after that, it's, because you're not spending as much time thinking about it. You just play the game. And, I've had evenings, especially with global events going on, where you just play, hanging out with the guys, playing, and you look and it's like, holy crap, I've gone up 19 watch levels. But But yeah, no, 1,000 is a big deal. That's when everything starts to come together. Your player seems like it does. It's hitting harder. Your skills are doing more damage. You got more weapon or ammo capacity, and on and on and on it goes. And that's really where things start to come in. Yeah, absolutely, Nate. It's a big deal. So, same build. Slept near this time with Perfect Frenzy. Yeah, Golden Bullet is phenomenal for that. The other build we're going to do after this, I'm really curious to see how this works with Frenzy. We'll do the same mission again. This time where I don't need these particular skills, I'm going to keep the Banshee Pulse, but I think I'm going to switch this out to a Revive Hive. Exactly. This character is getting really, really close. I'm at, I think, 40. I'm not quite at 50 with this character. I'll be honest. Up until recently, basically when I started my YouTube channel, I rarely went in the DZ. Where are we at here now? Yeah, I'm at 45. And an awful lot of those levels came from a couple of streams that I did where I was testing out builds and playing with a phenomenal player. I don't know if he's watching tonight, but it's V47. Half my time in the DZ was spent watching him and how he moved and where he maneuvered himself, basically. You know, the DZ isn't so much about your build. It is, but it's more about your ability to play than it is about what build you're running. If you've got a viable build, you'll do fine. But I haven't been in the DZ in weeks. It's probably high time that we go back in at some point, maybe later this week. Oh, good. Crappy visibility again.
We need you to secure the memorial and remove the True Sons forces. If they maintain this outpost, True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Yeah, we're in trouble now. Oh, I didn't do the reload. God damn it.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.
That's right. Locking the enemy down.
Don't reload. Don't reload. Don't reload. And we all know that.
Immediate medical assistance needed. Agent out of action. Agent killed.
I'm in deep shit here.
Get away from me. I'm out of ammo. Shoot like that, idiot.
Vital signs critical.
I got your division right here.
Gotta reload. Fine. They've got us trapped.
Wow, walk right into that one. Oops.
All clear. I repeat, the compound is all clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check
Hey,
the
ISO.
interior while I get Henry's people to maintain the perimeter.
Going through a lot more ammo with this. I'm wondering if it might not be better to have a smaller magazine so that you're into the frenzy more often. Don't know if this is going to make any difference, but we'll give it a try.
Securing the area. Is he okay?
This is it.
Damn it. The truce has turned the memorial into a base. There's an area beneath you with increased security. Isaac can't access data on this location. Stay alert. I don't know what you're walking into.
No sweat. You know what? I find the snitch just about every single time in the same place. I go to the settlement. I head toward... And I can't see it now, but it's... this control point. So you come out, you turn this way, you go down, and right in the underground parking lot. So when you spawn into the settlement, turn 180 degrees and head toward the choke control point. When you exit, turn right, move along the wall, go down the ramp, and in there, it's rare that I don't see them there. That's pretty much where I always find them. The other place that's is prevalent is just the 1040 safe house, and I think it's right here in this spot of the courtyard that they spawn. It's either there or where the S is in safe. I can't remember which it is, but those are the two places that I've yet to not have them spawn. That's for the snitch, by the way. The 1040 safe house is popular, but my favorite is just outside of that settlement.
You wanna kill everybody in here? Hear that? Fuck this noise. I'm not dying to help with the ammo count.
DC-62 detected.
Dumb. Isaac just ID'd those shells as chemical weapons. Can't afford to let the True Sons escape with those. You gotta find a way to close up that tunnel.
So what I did, and I don't know if you guys caught that in the chat, is I swapped the mod for the mag. I went from the extra 50 rounds to a reload speed, so I've only got 50. It's a 50 round pouch. Now I'm not getting as much rate of fire bonus and weapon damage bonus, but I'm into it more often. I don't know. Food for thought.
assistance needed.
Reload. Damn it.
According to the schematics Isaac pulled upstairs, we can lock that tunnel door from their control center. That should keep them from being able to transport those mortars loaded with DC-62.
Didn't see that heavy. That's gonna leave it.
Serious trauma detected. Immediate medical assistance needed.
That should keep them from getting more of those mortars.
You think closing the tunnel is smart? Fuck you! You slot yourself in with us. I'll make sure you rot down here.
Hit reload.
Laying down cover fire.
Serious
Not
trauma
good. Not
detected.
good.
Agent down.
He's gonna have everybody res here. Not another fucking medic.
Vital signs critical.
Step up all you want. You won't survive.
Good work. Go on and head back up. The team from the campus has taken position inside the memorial.
Well, it's... I think I like the blue screen better overall. I don't think I died on that run, though. No, well, I shouldn't say that. I went down twice. The hive got me both
If you
times.
hadn't stopped them, I know
Um,
they would have used those weapons on us, and we would have ended
but I
up like
prefer build
Castle.
1
I can't
overall.
tell you how relieved I am to
mostly because it plays into my playstyle.
Thank you. Today, we dealt a great blow to the True Sons infrastructure. We confiscated a massive cache of chemical weapons and eliminated their stronghold near the campus. You should be proud. You saved a lot of lives today.
Crit chance and damage are down from the blue screen. Accuracy is approximately the same, and damage, I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and rewatch the stream. But I think the sweet spot might be the 35 round pouch for that. Yeah, it absolutely. I did like the reload speed bonus that I got out of that, but it wasn't quite enough rounds. Like that's the major downside to LMGs is they lack the punch of an AR, as an example. But Heartbreaker does help. You're getting extra LMG damage. Not my favorite, but not a bad build. And again, that comes down to playstyle more than anything else. I know, by this point, I know my playstyle, and that I was adapting to it, but it's not my favorite way to play, shall we say. Oh, what do we got for deflector damage? 4.8. That one's a 4.9. That's a keeper. All right, I'm going to take a 2-minute bio break, and then when we come back, there's one more build I want to try and see if I can put together. I don't know if I have all the pieces for it, but basically it's built around the backfire. So we need to put together a bleed resistance build, Hasbro build, basically. So that's what I'm going to try putting together next. So if you guys have any recommendations or suggestions in the chat, go ahead while I take my quick break, and I will be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So, let's see what we have on us. So we're going to want, I'm going to run Memento this time because we want to play the short-term buffs on this one. We are going to want one piece of Y'all, so we may as well use the Hollow Man. Is it System Corruption, I think, that has... Where are we at right now, just out of curiosity? And I can't comment because I haven't played Countdown in a while. I don't have any bleed mods.
Always good to see you. Great dealing with you.
It's not going to work. We're only at 60% bleed resistance, and the best I'm going to get would be 90 with this, the way I'm putting it together right now, which is not going to be enough. So I think I'm going to have to go a slightly different way. Well, I've got another piece of y'all, I just don't remember where it is. There it is. $70, and even with perfects, well, I can probably, basically we got to get across, I think it's 90% for the bleed resistance. And I don't think anybody's selling them.
Agent, you haven't seen a selection like this since before the green poison. Thanks for the deal.
Sure, I got one earlier tonight, and I think I deconstructed it. All right, I'm going to come back to this build, guys, because I don't have any bleed resistance mods. And without spending a metric ton of time farming for them. Although Potomac event setter, skill attachments, though. We want gear mods. I can try crafting them. That's about the only thing I can do at this point. Yeah, let's see how this works. We're going to get everyone but the one I'm looking for. You watch. There's one. All right, one down. Two down. One to go. Come on, RNG. Expensive. I'm about to run out of cash. That's the last cycle that I can do. So it's 800 credits, but the rest of it's actually not that expensive.
The boots you wanted, I've got it. Thanks. This haul is just what I needed. Thank Thank you, Agent. I appreciate the business.
All right, we'll do a couple more rounds and then see where we end up. Gonna get everything but. Just need one. Just need one. Come on. Come on. Come on. Two more. One. No.
Thanks for your business.
This is painful. There we go. Did that get us across? Yes, we're at 95.6 bleed resistance. So, all right. So here's what I did. It's 4 pieces of Umbra. I rolled all of them to let's try that in English. Hazard protection. We got bleed resistance mods on all 3. 1 piece of Yawl with hazard protection, plus the brand set, excuse me, brand set bonus of hazard protection, and then Memento, for its obvious reasons. We're running the backfire. I'm going to stick with Gunner for the armor on kill. And in this particular case, I'm going to go back to shield and the drone. Which is, again, it's back in my wheelhouse, if you will. Now, this is not as powerful as shield. It's a tier 3 shield. Having said that, once Memento is fully stacked up, it does give us a skill efficiency, which will help the shield. It also gives us 3% armor regen. So I'm going to save this as this. We're going to overwrite that. So the cool thing about backfire, I didn't even look and see what our crit chance is. Crit chance is at 51%, which is not bad. This is showing 62%, which is a little bit of a misnomer because of the talent of backfire. Dealing damage adds stack of 1% crit damage up to 200 stacks, lasting 10 seconds. On reload, it applies a 10-second bleed, which we've just negated by the build. So we can get up to 200 additional percent crit damage. So that could be as high as 251. We're also getting a crit damage bonus from the 4-piece Umbra. So if we stack it up with 50 stacks, we get 0.3. So 15, hang on. 10 would be 3%. By 5 is 15%. Yeah. So that's an additional 15% crit. No. 1% crit damage. Duh, I'm stupid. So it's another 50%. So now with the chest, we get from the shadows, which is the first part. So we actually go up to 100 stacks. So we can get an additional 100% crit damage. I was looking at the RPM increase and trying to do the math on that because I'm not very smart some nights. So that's another 100%. So 200% from the weapon, 100% from the Umbra. If it's fully stacked, that's 362% crit damage. So this should hit pretty hard. With Umbra, we've also got the pull into cover and get some armor back. Plus, we've got Memento. The weapon damage itself unstacked is at 107.9. Again, with Memento stacked, once we hit our without, and we're not going to talk about the short-term buffs, just with the long-term buffs, we get an additional 1% weapon damage by 30 stacks. So an additional 30% weapon damage on top of that. So we're going to be hitting quite hard with this. It's an up close and in your face build. We're at 1.1 million armor. I'd prefer to be a little bit higher. But we've got what we got for pieces. I think 1.3 would be the sweet spot for this, but we've got the 2 armor cores. I'd have to get the Umbra pieces to drop with the hazard protection already on them so that you could roll it to an armor core. So again, we've kind of got what we've got. So again, we're going to run that same mission. And at this point, just looking at the clock, it's 11:15 my time here. And it's been a long 4 days of... it's a long 4 days of back-breaking labor. No, I've been on my hands and knees painting baseboard trims and then up and down a ladder doing trim painting at my old house. So it's been a weekend. And I got to work again tomorrow. So this is probably going to be our last run through, but I'm hoping that this is a decent build. I'm running the shield so that we can get the initial trophies. Once this starts to stack up, it should hit harder and harder and harder.
Forces. If they maintain this outpost, the True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
Yeah, let's get that additional 100 stacks.
Assistance needed.
That's awesome.
Agent killed.
I've always found that on paper these builds are quite good. In practice and in reality, not as good as you'd think. It's already starting to hit a little harder as we gain the stacks.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the Memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.
So much for all those memento stacks.
Stay the fuck away! Let's see you now. What the hell?
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.
So this build doesn't hit as hard as the first build that I put together. Because it relies on you getting stacks, and that's, you know what, I don't like situational buffs, I never have, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to build them outside. It also would help that if I didn't play as dumbly as I did the last time. You know, if you put yourself in a position where you're surrounded, you kind of get what you deserve. It does actually hit reasonably hard once it's stacked up. was close.
One lucky gal. Who's down? Answer me!
Come on, get out of cover.
All clear. I
That
repeat,
is why I love the
compound
drone.
is all clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check the interior while I get Henry's people to maintain the perimeter.
When I remember that I have no money. So now we're fully stacked up with memento stacks. The rest of it is, so we've got that additional 30% weapon damage, 3% armor, armor regen, extra skill efficiency, except you know, all of the benefits of it. So as long as I don't do anything foolish and get myself killed, knock on wood, we should be okay. So another 100%. This will give us 100% crit damage. And you can see the difference in how hard it is once you've got those stacks.
Damn it. The Trusons have turned the memorial into a base. There's an area beneath you with increased security. Isaac can't access data on this location. Stay alert. I don't know what you're walking into.
So I'm envisioning this. This is the one I'm going to play in the morning once Golden Bullet goes live, because with the rate of fire and all of the other buffs.
Careful with those rounds! You want to kill everybody in here? Hear that? Stop making noise. I'm not dying to help with the ammo count.
DC-62 detected.
Heads up. Isaac just ID'd those shells as chemical weapons. Can't afford to let the Trusons escape with those. You've got to find a way to close up that tunnel. Use
Now, I would normally play this really aggressively and run right to the back.
We lost a soldier!
Awesome.
According to the schematics Isaac pulled upstairs, we can lock that tunnel door from their control center. That should keep them from being able to transport those mortars loaded with DC-62.
For a turret.
Get the fuck back!
So I think this might not be a bad build for
That
Golden
should keep them
Bolt.
from getting more of those mortars.
It's squishy at first. It takes a little bit of time to get everything built up to where you're going to need it. The big one is making sure that your Umbra buff stays up. That's an extra 100% crit damage. And then stay firing. Because again, that's your second point of building stacks. Nice thing about being as hazard protected as we are, it's not that I'm not worried about the fire. I'm not as worried as I would be normally.
Good work. Go on and head back up. The team from the campus is taking position inside the memorial.
It is a fun build to play. You just can't be dumb about it, like I was the first time I ran in. I got what I deserved, basically. I overextended,
If you
put
hadn't
myself in a
stopped
bad
them,
situation.
I know they would have
Or in
used
a bad
those weapons
position.
on us, and we would have ended up like Castle. I can't tell you how relieved I am to have you on our side. Thank you.
So
Today,
let's see
we
what kind of
dealt with a
crit
great blow
damage
to
numbers
True
we
Sun's
actually,
infrastructure.
the true
We
crit worked
confiscated
out to
a
be.
massive cache of chemical weapons and eliminated their stronghold near the campus. You should be proud. You saved a lot of lives today.
Decent accuracy considering I was actually taking a lot of long distance shots with an SMG. And the real crit damage percent isn't as high as I thought it would be. I apparently wasn't getting the buffs that I thought I would be. But fun build to play, and I think it might be viable for Golden Bullet. So I'm just going to run back to the White House, and I'll show you we'll just review the two builds that I've thrown together, really. The blue screen build I actually wrote over, and it isn't a criticism for Nate. It's just, it's not my playstyle. Which is not to say that I'm not going to play it again. Now that I've got a decent idea about it and what it's about, I will go back to it. But like any build, and this is not something that I think I talk about even in the streams, but certainly not in the videos, is any build that you put together has to suit your strengths, not my strengths. You know, I don't have the reflexes I used to have. I don't know if you can see the amount of white that I've got in my beard. 57, and my maximum reflexes are decades behind me. So it's not that I need the shield, but it certainly helps. I do like to play aggressively, but I like to have a build. Like I said, this build with 1.3 million armor, I think would be right in the sweet spot of where I'm comfortable. Give you that added a little bit of survivability, plus 3% of 1.5 is a little bit more armor regeneration. So I think that would be the sweet spot. 1.1 is a little bit light. You're a little bit squishy, but you know, considering that this was something we just tossed together this evening with the pieces that I already had, it's not a bad build. You just have to be cautious with it until you're fully stacked up. So it's 4 pieces of Umbra, all of it rolled to hazard protection, and then you've got 3 bleed resistance mods. We've got Memento, and we've got 1 piece of Y'all. Again, it's important that it has hazard protection in addition to this this hazard protection. What you need to hit is, I've heard so many different numbers. I know it's greater than 90% bleed resistance is the magic number for this. I've also heard 92. I've also heard 95. So I don't know the exact number. I would shoot for 95% or greater, which, as you saw, it wasn't that difficult. I mean, I did have to craft the bleed mods because I didn't have any. But they're all 8.5, 8.6-ish. They're not wonderful. They're good, but they're not great. And then you're building, you end up with 70% hazard protection. So, you know, fire, foam, all of those things, they do affect you, but they don't affect you for long. I suspect that this build with a much higher armor rating would be pretty decent in the DZ. That's a supposition on my part, but I think it would do all right because of the Hasbro. So that was the second build we put together. The first build was built around Kingbreaker, trying to get its weapon handling up. So we ended up with both pieces, coincidentally, and this wasn't my intention, but they both ended up being built around 4 pieces of Umbra. This one uses the Ninja Bike bag instead and a single piece of Hot Shot to give you that weapon handling that you're looking for. And then I opted for the Picaro's holster for the skill haste and skill tier because of the Ninja Bike. So you end up with a tier 6 shield, and a tier 3 striker drone. Do I think it's a party build? I don't know, but I am going to be playing this in the next couple of days. So if you're around, look for me, because like I said, it's once Golden Bullet goes live, I'm going to be playing this with the clan and anybody else that wants to play. As far as streams the rest of the week, I'm going to stream again tomorrow evening. We'll do some Golden Bullet stuff tomorrow, and you can see these in action. I'm hoping that I can do Thursday night, but there's some stuff going on around in the area around us that my wife may want to head off to. So I'm very much playing the streams the rest of the week by ear. I've also got a video that's recorded. I just need to finish editing it. So hopefully, and I know I've been saying that for weeks, but I'm going to make the effort to get that out tomorrow or Wednesday. It's basically, it's the tank build that we put together over the course of a couple of streams about 2 weeks ago. It started life for the stovepipe manhunt mission. It was one that I had in my inventory that I'd never actually tested out. It worked really well in heroic. It wasn't as effective in legendary, which is ultimately what it was designed for. In the stream the following night, when we started playing around with it, with the suggestions from a couple of people in the stream, we modified it, tweaked it, and it's a great, I shouldn't say great, it's a really good legendary tank build. So I'm going to showcase that. And I've actually got some legendary play. I'm going to start with the Kingbreaker build. This is what I'm going to start playing with tomorrow when I'm playing for, in the morning before I go to work. But I'm going to try them both out. So stay tuned tomorrow night. We can see how they work together and, solo, and then I'm going to jump in with whoever else is around and we'll do some group play to see how well it synergizes with the rest of the party. Both of these basically are more designed for solo play, especially the Backfire one because of Memento. Memento is probably the best in slot bag, bar none, for solo play. Group of 2, it's not bad. When you start getting into parties of 3 and 4, it starts to suffer because you're in competition for those kills. And in order for you to get stacked up, it can sometimes take 2, 3, or 4 rooms in order to get Memento fully stacked up. And then, like I said, it's not that you're competing with your teammates, but you're in competition for those kills to get the trophies, to get what you need. So it's not typically a backpack that I run in group play. It just depends on the build, but I tend not to use it when I'm in a big group. The other build where it doesn't rely on that sort of thing, the rest of it's baked right in and you're running the Ninja Bike bag, I think this would be the better one for group play. Very cool, Nate. And you know what? I think in a group where all of the aggro isn't on me and you're also using, you know what, that would be the better party build, simply because of the you're giving your party the I think I already stashed them, but the hollow point rounds. Yeah, so that would probably be the better build for group play. This will do better for you in a group, but the ongoing directive build would be the better build for group play as a whole, because you're adding to your entire team, not just yourself. I may have to rethink this for tomorrow, but I'm going to have to, again, play around with it, see which one I've got it in my head, and I've also got it on the stream. I can go back to it and put it back together, but yeah, I'm babbling at this point mostly because I'm tired. So we're going to wrap up the stream at this point. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to see, leave it as a comment, even in the live chat, because I will go back and look at it. But as this goes through its YouTube, basically this will live in the live section of my library. and you can go back in and add a comment like any other YouTube video. If there's anything that you want to see with the group play or a tweak you'd like to see made or just general comments in general, I do read every comment that I get. I try and respond to them all. I actually went through all my backlog of questions or comments that I hadn't answered and answered most of them with just a thumbs up to clear them off of the app that I use for tracking it. So if there's something that you'd like to see, an addition you think that would benefit this build or benefit other players, again, I'm all ears. That's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing, is I want to share the knowledge that we all have as a group to as wide an audience as we possibly can. But I'm babbling at this point. So, Agent Meat signing off. I will see you guys tomorrow night. And thanks again. I had a blast hanging out with you guys tonight. It'll be the same time again tomorrow night. I typically stream. I'm on the East Coast of Canada, so it's Atlantic time. So it's 8 o'clock Atlantic, which is GMT +3. The time I typically post, though, would be Eastern Daylight Time. So 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time is when I'm going to start the stream. Thanks, Luminous. That's awesome. I've been There's so much going on in my personal life that I haven't gotten videos out in a bit, hence the reason I've been doing the live streaming, because I don't have to edit. The editing process for me is a little bit laborious, mostly because my skill set isn't exactly where I need it to be. And I also tend to, I don't do things scripted, or I often don't do things scripted, which means that the editing process is a lot of crap. I didn't get what I needed in terms of, footage, and I have to go back and re-record things, et cetera, et cetera. So a 20-minute video sometimes can take 4 or 5 hours. So the live streams, I think, are a better bang for the buck right now, where I've got limited time available. That will change as we evolve further into the summer. It should be back. In a perfect world, I'd be doing 2 or 3 streams and a video or 2 a week. That would be a perfect week for me anyway. But yeah, I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys had fun. I certainly did. And we'll see you tomorrow evening. Again, it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.